Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Pardon any lag. Pardon the no hat. It is quite unpleasantly humid. It's see, it was like 81 or 82, and I thought I would cool it down a couple hours ago by opening the window to blow the air out, and it's just gone up to like 83 or 84 Fahrenheit. Like temperature wise, I can certainly handle that. It's definitely not ideal for going live, but then there's the humidity on top of it that's got me sitting in ball soup. I actually I am wearing bottoms. I'm completely clothed, as you can tell. I'm wearing clothes underneath, but I have my shorts literally sitting there because mentally I have to remind myself I'm just from the waist down, just wearing underwear, and nobody wants to see that. That's not this kind. We're not that kind of channel. So if I stand up, I'll just have to make sure my shirt's pulled all the way down, just in case. So I do have the hat. You're at the Nikki M. Carlin channel. I've got a hair clip, so it's not gonna stay on my head. I've got it here. I want to wear it, but I didn't want to sit here for 2 hours looking like I was just crying sweat because I mean I had a sandwich, so it's not like I had thousands of calories and I got like the meat sweats. It's just from the temperature outside. Oh my goodness. But what's up to Patrick? And you are dumb too. Patrick says, evening Nikki and Franklies, or are we now Nicklies? I don't know. There's not an official name for it, but there should be because there really is a huge difference. My camera's all wonky. There's a huge difference between uh I mean, like there are people who are Franklies who also come to my show. But it's not a lot. It's just a handful of folks. So those are I know those people better because I get to see them more. What's up, Dill? And when to go to? I promise I'm not crying. It's just so above average temperature. Now this morning I was able to lie on the heating pad, but that's the thing. When it gets hot, if you have a bad back or whatever, you lay on a heating pad, you might become physically ill. So that's just out of the question. You just got to deal with the pain or take pain pills or smoke. Don't do drugs. Um, it's weird though because like today I plug in the camera. If it glitches at all, I just restart everything. So I'm just blaming that on the heat or that the sun is going into Cancer today. So I've got a month of that to deal with. So it's against me. My unlucky time of year is when the sun is in a water sign. And I don't like how it's book ended with bad events anymore. Chronologically how things happened were 2004 on July 21st, Jerry Goldsmith, my composer, one of them, passed away. That's also Robin Williams' birthday. Jump ahead to 10 years ago tomorrow is when James Horner got into his plane and got ejected from it when it hit the ground. So that was both of my composers gone. Also Bruce Campbell's birthday. I don't care for that coincidence. And it's also the day Judy Garland died. What the hell is going on with June 22nd that everything happens that day? And then jump ahead 2 years from that to 2017 on June 25th. That's when my kitten, Captain Hector Barbosa, I told you about. He wasn't even 2. I was with him until the end. That was the last day I played video games. So actually going into Cancer. What's up, Lisa Gray? Glad you made it. Wondering if you see apples in your mind. I do. Yeah, like red apples. like the Green Granny Smith apples, like the character Captain Hector Barbosa, Jeffrey Rush has in the film. Spoilers for the first part to the Caribbean. There's no excuse. There's no reason why you have not seen a movie from 2003 by now. So that's not a spoiler. Um, so like it starts off with bad, and then it ends up with bad, and then out of all the water signs, if I'm gonna get hit with any bad luck, that's gonna be in Scorpio, but it's also probably gonna happen sometime during Cancer. Pisces is the one that's been smooth sailing. I'm happy about that. Now the best and worst things can happen. I can get the best news coming at me. I can get the worst news coming at me. This is when the sun's on a water sign. That's when it's going to hit for me because my Jupiter is in Scorpio, which is a water sign. What's up, Will You Bill Cooper over on Twitter? Twitch. I know I was going to screw that up. Thank you, brain. And I am on a half an hour earlier because Frank is going to be on at 9 p.m. on YouTube. Fuck yeah! Pardon me for yelling. I had to. I can't watch the old episode back with the bank robber because I'll just remember how sad I was sitting there in a room with 3 people. But then Frank on Friday was talking about he's not happy with Rumble for some reason. I got that from the Discord. Something about you can focus on me whenever you want, camera. Something about he doesn't like the front page of Rumble. I don't care for Rumble anyway, so you don't need to give me a reason to not use it. We owe you, Bill Cooper, Keck, Nikki, yeah. So he was sitting there on the Friday show talking about, I don't know, should I just make it go live everywhere? So there I was screaming again, caps, like go live everywhere. And then I was waiting to start this to like even post this episode up because I was going to put in the link to the Twitch chat room if he was just gonna be on Rumble and Pilled, but that's not the case. Frank put up the episode. He's going live at 9 p.m. It's gonna be on YouTube, so that's we have that to look forward to. We can just see each. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. We can see each other all again still in a chat room on YouTube, so it doesn't have to be lonely. Thank you. So that's one great thing that hasn't happened yet, but we're pretty much guaranteed it. One to go to, has the solstice happened again? I could swear this is the first day of Cancer. I just don't know the exact time. But I can find out slowly. Like I'm not moving slow enough already, and then it gets hot out, which does slow you down. I don't use air conditioning. Astrology. Unless somebody wants to pay for my electricity and some Percocet. Okay, yeah, the sun goes into Cancer today. It already happened at 2:43 a.m. I mean, it starts getting bad for me on the cusp, and then it will continue into the Cancer-Leo cusp, so it's not just 30 or 31 days. I get a little bit extra that I have to walk on eggshells. But, again, good stuff can happen. Dale says, I lost my cousin to suicide June 25th, 1987. Oh, damn. R.I.P. to them. That sucks. That's, it's rough to have to contemplate, or even contemplate at all. It's scary to think of having to go through. It's scary to think that somebody thinks that's their only way out. And it's the first time I've got my window open, so I keep getting distracted. There's like a tiny little bit of extra light, so don't mind that. Something else good that happened though. Holy shit, this just happened today. How far do I back up? I really don't subscribe to a whole lot of channels. So I am subscribed to a lot of channels. I just don't subscribe to a lot of new channels. So you get used to everybody's pattern as to when they upload. You get a feel for it. Some people upload randomly. Some people kind of have a set time. Like they might not upload like daily or weekly, but maybe they have their set time. Like, oh, it's noon on a Sunday, so so-and-so is uploading. So, you know, that you get used to when I get used to when my phone chimes off for notifications. And like I was saying, I did just start following a couple of Minecraft YouTubers, Sway Lee and Pufferfish81. So when something chimes off here in the last couple of weeks, I just assume it's one of them guys doing something. And what they usually end up doing is like going live at like midnight after I've fallen asleep. So I wake up, turn my phone on, and it's chiming for YouTube. Like, who is uploading like seven, not seven, like three videos at 9 a.m. And it was just them going live, at midnight. So it's like, oh my God. So my phone chimes off today, 3:08 on a Saturday. Like, who the hell is uploading at specifically 3:08 p.m. on a Saturday? Maybe it's Swaley or Puff. Who knows? I don't know their schedule. They're a little bit random. Completely sober, of course. Look at my phone. Grace still plays. And it's not 4 p.m. It didn't say 16:08. It said 15:08. I'm like, I'm not that out of it. I can still tell time. Now, he has uploaded before 4 p.m. before, but those are membership videos. So if you don't get membership videos, you don't get any fucking notification for a membership video, which pisses me off to begin with. But second of all, they're usually later on in the day. Like say maybe he might upload at 4, then I'll do the membership video at 5, maybe sometimes at 6. Maybe like twice it's been before 4 p.m. since I've been keeping track since maybe November. But this is just a regular ass day. He was going to upload anyway at 4, but there we are. My phone chimes off for Grace still plays. I was in the middle of watching my show. I had about a half an hour left, so I couldn't click off of it. Hang on. All right, it's Saturday. It's going to be Grand Theft Auto. Okay, great. It's early. Awesome. Gray must really love us. Then I had to stop because what if there's 80s music in it and I'm clicking on it for no reason? Then I thought, I don't care. It's so early. I can click off of it. It's fine. This never happens. Click on the video. Watch the whole thing. I had a good feeling from the start. No 80s music at all. And I don't know how long this has been happening. I don't think the last one did, and maybe not. It's been at least 3 or 4 where there's been no 80s music, so I've just been so totally blessed. So I had to go to the comments like, Ray must love us. He's uploading an hour early, and there's no 80s music? You could not have told me that. Oh yeah, Patrick said I got your message saying you was on tonight about 2 p.m. here in Britain. That would be Frank going live at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Then I go live at midnight for the UK, 1 a.m. for Germany, France, Netherlands, all those. So that was good. That was I can't believe that. Uh, did I write that down? Great still place. All right. That was 2 good things. Okay. King 40, glad you made it. All right, yeah, new development. This could either also be great news, this could also end up just being nothing. What it is I've got it worked out. Again, not crying, just sweating balls. Right now I do have it worked out where because I can't drive myself to New York for Frank's meetup. It would probably take me a week to get there in each direction. Just drive so long, eyes get tired, gotta rest and stop. Repeat the process. So I can't just drive myself there and back. I had to get somebody to go with me or drive us there, that kind of a thing. So I did work it out with a friend that they're also planning on going there if their work schedule allows it. So right now it's on. If they can get off of work, it's totally on. I'll totally be able to go there and you know, like do the thing. But if they can't get off for work, then I just can't go. It is what it is. And then in that case, I'll just be going live. It sounds like Frank's doing a meet and greet the Friday before, and then the Saturday, of course, is the event. And I'm usually live on Saturday, so I would just be doing like we're doing now, just be live on Friday and Saturday. So for you guys, it would be exactly the same if it doesn't work out for me. Pardon my nose just wants to drip because my face is wet. Oh, we're crying, right? It's like, no, it's sweat. Stop it. So either I will get to go, and unfortunately, I won't be able to do a Friday and Saturday show, but I get to, in theory, go somewhere and meet Franklies and have fun for the first time. The second, technically the second time ever, since I already had a meetup. Um, and if not, I'll just be here. So that's with since that development came around, that's why I am not going to be opening up a PO box. Mostly for that reason, I would rather have that money to like for gas money and food to actually like get there and get home. But a little bit more importantly than that, and this is something you can look at for yourself. This is not just information that I'm getting from YT Studio. Some of it is, but a lot of this you can see on my channel right now. Um, there really isn't too much interest in me opening up a PO box. Like there isn't call for it. Due to the price and the fact that my channel seems to either be stagnating or backsliding, I can't justify the expense with the numbers I'm pulling currently. Things can change, things can always change. Just because it's bad now doesn't mean it can't improve in the future, but as of right now, I would rather have that money set aside to, you know, potentially use it to get to New York versus what more likely will be the situation, which would be me paying $600 for a PO box just to go visit an empty box every day to get one or two items. That's just like visiting a funeral plot. So that does not sound like fun. That's just stress for me just thinking about it. So I don't see the point in it. You know, maybe next year, maybe I will have the numbers for something like that. Maybe I will have the income for something like that. But as of right now, no. I know one person does have something for me. I can send them my address because I know they're not a freak who's going to give it out to other people. But yeah, that's just not a thing that's going to happen. Probably not this year, but there's always next year. I'd rather have that aside for, you know, like best case scenario, I do get to go to meet other Franklies. I don't want to have to be like starving the whole way there because I paid for an empty box for mail that I don't receive. Three dots. Glad you made it. Do you have a sauna, Nikki? Yes, my entire home. Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. I unplugged the TV. Like it helps that much. It's the fact that this light is on. I could actually use it for I feel like I'm wasting electricity. Like I should be able to put like a grill on it and like cook on it. There's so much heat comes off of it. Um, it's just like because the cold will give me back spasms, and I don't have any Flexeril, Xanax, Percocet, anything like that. Patrick, so Frank's after tonight's show. Hopefully, I'll be able to stay awake. Yeah, it's I'm gonna stop. It'll be 8:30 my time, and then Frank goes live a half an hour after that. Okay, I already talked about that. Okay, yeah, let me just get on with the week. I don't know what day it is. What day is today? Today is June 21st, 2025. So this goes back to the 16th. Really? Okay. I'll take your word for it. I low-key remember that. I do remember that. It's coming back to me without looking at my notes. Cool. Okay, yeah, so on June 16, that was Monday. Lots of holidays this week. Frank was wearing his dark gray or just regular gray t-shirt, nothing fancy about it. He's on his gray kick. I still don't understand what those gay pride no kings things were about, but Ross Soul said no parentheses burger and then king. Oh yeah, I forgot. Thanks King 40 for mentioning that. Let me turn the phone on. You are not receiving calls when voice is closed. Yeah, that's the fucking point. That's what off means, dumbass. Talking to my phone. Uh yeah, I got the phone lines on. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, phone number's in the description. It's 419 359 8869. I don't know. I've never called it. What did I say? John McHugh. John McHugh. What's up? It's MC then HUGH, but then saying it sounds like MC and the letter Q, or like Mick queuing up, but it's just, yeah, it's not spelt the way it sounds. I cannot think. We owe you Bill Cooper. Yeah, that's what off means. You mean on, dis, on, con, on? You can tell English is not their first language. Lisa Gray, I'm so pissed off. My hometown has a Midnight Sun Festival every year, probably going on 100. Oh, anyway, the parade had a gay float, and it won the first fucking place. Grr. Yeah, I wonder how swishy the council was. Like, yes, girl, slay. First place, glitter. I thought this was so interesting. Dan Schumann said that our Frank, because he wasn't wearing a hat. Was he not wearing a hat that day? Maybe. But yeah, but he said that Frank looks like the guy who played the Mummy, the Brendan Fraser one from 1999, Arnold Vosloo. Frank says he looks like Arnold Vosloo, and I'm like, that is so wild because today's his birthday. Hell of a coincidence. Willie Fixit called in, and he's always sober. I mentioned that before. I just can't get over the fact that he's sober when he calls Frank. Just Frank, not when he calls him anybody else. But he always mentions a lot of things. He's worse than me, but he mentioned one thing. He's got to go to the doctor. Like he's going blind in one eye, or he's just having vision issues with just one eye. I didn't catch which one he said. I don't know if it's his aiming eye or what. But I'm thinking, damn, that's what happened to me. Actually, my right eye kind of like healed itself. That's why I had to get these glasses. But then, Revolution, like the O in his name is a 0. I believe that's how he does it. Like, oh, damn, he's really literally one eye Willie now. Damn. I hope he gets that fixed. I hope it's not his aiming eye. King 40 Willie is the man. He is. He would be a trip to meet. King 40, Durka Durka. Yep, they sure are. Jenna, what's up? Glad you made it. Patrick saying Dandy and his birthday are both next week on the 29th. I think Dandy is 62 and Patrick will be 63. That is so cool. Oh, goodness. Oh, it kept going. So Frank Zell called in on the Monday show. I guess he's living in Ohio now, but he was, at the time of the call, he was over in Pittsburgh. So it's like, what, are you leaving again? But maybe it was for work. I don't know. The man moves around a lot, it seems like. But He was talking about how easy it is to just like purchase a firearm in Ohio. I don't know what it's like in New York, but I mean, yeah. Because the first time I bought mine, you give them the information for a background check, but I'm not in any trouble, so it comes back clean, and you pay for it. But the second time I go to the same place, paid cash, walked right out with it. And the fact that Frank Zell could do that to purchase a firearm, like you could hear, like his mind was blown, like he just saw that, like a biblically accurate angel. Like it blew his, you could tell it blew his mind. So I don't know what the hell people have to go through in New York to just to make a firearm purchase, but it's not as strict in Ohio. We might even have open carry. I do not know. Do not quote me on that. Don't take your state laws from me because I do not care what the law says. Uh, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a criminal or anything like that. I just, humans dearly love to make things complicated with all their structure, and then somebody blows it out of the water. Not advocating people do crime things. King 40 said, yeah, says Willie is his favorite caller. Jenna, yeah, racist grandpa, LMAO. That's how your grandpa should be. I was thinking about Frank Zell for some reason after Willie Fixit called in, and then Frank Zell called in. Like, holy shit, there's that guy. He should have. I really would have thought, or I would think that Frank Zell would make a good Florida man. Because a lot of New Yorkers go to Florida anyway. He just sort of seems to have that, like he could hang with Florida man. Just saying. Everybody's saying hi. We owe you. Bill Cooper said, I can see that. Frank looking like the actor from The Mummy, yeah. Look up Arnold Vosloo. That man is holding up so well for a Gemini. Hot damn! Patrick saying to Lisa Gray, they had to win something as they're usually miserable bastards. Every single tranny person, and you catch you follow the wrong account, they start reblogging all these, trannies. They're gonna unalive themselves if they can't cut off their penises. Oh yeah, Jason Burmis was on the show, and his hair just get like check it out. It's maybe just about like a half a centimeter, millimeter, whatever, shorter every time. Eventually, he's gonna be bald, so we can get on Quite Frankly more often. But he does have this background that slowly moves. It's got this white text, so I really can't. I've got to have my hat on. I can't look at the guy. It's not that he's like a bad looking guy, too. Like he's. I guess I don't get to see him that much, so I want to look at him more, but I can't because of the movement. So I'm just listening to the guy, and he mentioned that he's a Leo. So it's like so I had to write that down as fast as possible. And then somebody asked me if I could tell, and I'm like, I don't know. I can't see the man's face. I can't look because like some Leos, I can specifically tell there's like this upside down triangle of space underneath their eyes. And I don't know why it is just that little area of skin on some people. I can look at that and know they're a Leo. It's so weird. But again, I can't see him because of the movement. So good for him. I was wondering about his sign. We owe you, Bill Cooper. You have to take a 2-day course for a firearms license in Canada, and that covers rifles and shotguns and black powder, long guns only. A separate course for pistols, vetted by Royal Canadian Mounted Police before accepted to courses. Okay, so I don't know, like because I did take a CCW class. It was all day, like it was 8 hours. We got a break for lunch, but it was, like watching videos, listening to scenarios, and just, stuff like that. Pardon me, my nose thinks it's time to cry because my face is wet. And then you get your after you take the class, you get a certificate, and that's you take the certificate to a, I think it was a police station, and that's where they they fingerprint you, and they take your picture. They maybe take my glasses off for it, and then like that, it's the size of a credit card and ID. Like that's your actual CCW, official license thing, and that does give you certain rights that you would have versus, like, say if your state is open carry, or you're allowed to like conceal carry, that's one thing. But if you get your CCW, you get a little bit more protection in certain ways. Don't ask me what they are. I took this a few years ago, but that's a real thing. And this is Ohio. I don't know how it goes state by state. And again, this was a few years ago, so maybe you can just walk in with your regular ass ID and make your first purchase and nobody says anything now. I don't know. Bill Cooper practical and written tests renew every 5 years. Like, yeah, it does have. I think in maybe next year I've got to renew it, something like that. And like they let you, practice. You're not just like sitting inside the whole time. You do get to go outside and actually, fire. And it was March, so it was kind of cold. I was there one time in January. There's snow on the ground. What the hell were we doing out there? No, that's what it was. It was cold as there was snow on the ground. Damn, I was so cold. There was this tall guy there. He was hot. And anyway, uh, always be either the first rule of gun safety is to look cool and have fun. No, always be careful with your firearms. They're tools. They can go boom. Jenna says, I have a preference, so am I racist? LOL, yeah. It's like, oh, you like men? What, you're not gay? Oh, well, that's offensive too. I don't care if I'm offending the dykes. King 40, I don't like Zell, just something about him rubs me the wrong way. That's fair. What about Jim Zell? He's way more chill. He's not as excitable. So me and a few other people were just getting like just this vibe off of Jason Burmis that he's a soda drinker. I don't know why. We just got the feeling he drinks pop. John Rogers, glad you made it. And somebody else said Mountain Dew. I'm thinking, yeah, I was thinking Mountain Dew. And he might have mentioned video games, and he seems like he has a cat, so we put it together. It took us about an hour or so, but we figured it out. He drinks Mountain Dew, plays Nintendo 64, and has a cat. Like he just needs a cat to jump up on his desk and like pet, and like the cat walks off and he keeps talking. Just got that feel from it. And then Frank did mention that there are some changes coming in July. Knowing my luck, I'm just taking that as a threat. But we'll see. That's just me personally. Anytime, usually Frank has to make an announcement about something. It's more work for me. So I don't know. It's not until July. We'll find out then. Maybe it's nothing, but the way things have been going, who knows? But yeah, that was a good Monday show. Yeah, so Tuesday the 17th, Frank's wearing a darker gray t-shirt. Looks good. Say gray, they say, is not everybody's friend. They say like maybe like light gray does not look good on blondes. It's very like light gray does not look good on me, but I'll still wear it. That was my buddy's color. If I can get something in dark gray, I will. I don't prefer light gray, but I'll still wear it. But gray looks good on Frank. I don't know. Maybe it's his hair color. Maybe it's his skin color. Because white is just he gets too damn tan in the summertime. And he starts to look pink. And then he'll wear one of his white v-neck default shirts. And it low-key looks like he's just like dusted on like some rouge everywhere. Like it's baby powder. I don't know. Maybe that's a trick that the gender illusionists use that I'm not aware of. This was that Frank showed the video of some. It's like this AI program drone that flies through these obstacles better than a human can. A drone. It's a drone flying task speed run in real life. TAS is an acronym for Tool Assisted Speed Run. People will take something like Super Mario Brothers and put it into a computer. A lot of these people play on computer, not on console, because consoles are so old for Super Mario Brothers. But the computer will play the game in a way that it'll input combinations of buttons that a human physically cannot to get the best possible speed run. And then the speedrunners take that as a challenge and try to beat it. And they do. But there's no practical purpose for anything to fly in a pattern like that. I mean, I know people use, like the government use drones to kill people in armies, but I'm not about that. Just in your everyday life, I don't need a drone to fly in a perfect pattern for me to watch a Gray Still Plays video. Don't need it. We owe you, Bill Cooper. Yeah, gender illusionists. Good. Yeah, that's what it is. If you're just there to, you'll have a good time in a Monty Python kind of way. There it is. Thank you, Jenna. I went through and I made sure nothing was running in the background. Then I was worried I wasn't going to get notifications. Oh, here it goes. Loading. Oh, Jenna, oh, thank you. Road trip, cha-ching. Thank you. Awesome. Oh, it gives me an email. Okay. Thank you. Like those lame ass, like drone flying in the air shows instead of setting off fireworks. Lame AF. If I want to see a programmed light show, I'll just watch somebody play a video game because more goes into that. This guy! Okay, I didn't write his name down, but I remember now. This is the fella who he's got his last name spelt wrong on his neon sign. It's like the number 4, then ORBS, and then somebody said, shouldn't it be 4, like the number 4, then the letter B, then the letter S for Forbes? Hello? What's up? Let me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, good. I've got you up now.
Can I? You're the boss here. Your show. I'm gonna wait until you tell me to go.
No, I just thought it was weird because it came up through my regular phone instead of through the app, so I gotta play around with that. My first thought was that you got my personal phone number, but I'm like, no, he's not shady like that, so it's got to be my phone.
No, absolutely not. No, I just called the number that you have on the YouTube thing there.
Yeah, it's not you, it's my equipment. You're fine.
Okay. So, am I good to talk on the air?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Can I say
it? Sure.
On your show?
Does it end with a hard ER?
I won't do it. I won't do it next time. But I'm going to tell you something, right?
Yeah.
Me and Leonardo, we was making a point that night. All right?
Okay.
Let me tell everybody something, you people something. A racial slur is a racial slur. One is no worse than the other.
Fair.
You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
So, if I call one of them people that, you see how I'm talking here? See how these people are? You see what I'm saying? But they can call me a guinea. But you could do that, and it's no sweat off my back. So, we're pointing out the double standards here. Now, Frank might have got a little upset on the air, which I understand. It's his show,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want certain things, and that's his prerogative. And I'm going to tell you something right now, Nick. I talked to him ahead of the show, and he knows me, and I don't know how much he knew about Leonora, but clearly we're the male-female version of each other after you guys seen her, right?
Yeah.
And it was funny, too, because somebody in the chat room said, Leonora is King 40 with a wig and a voice changer. Yeah, somebody said that in the chat room. And I forget who it was. I wish I could remember. I'd give them credit. And I laughed my ass off, and they said, "Oh, King, it's just a joke." And I'm like, man, don't worry about it. I love it. I'm like, I consider that a compliment.
I would
don't take
too.
that as an insult. They thought I'd get upset, like, "Oh my God, what are you saying?" I'm like, "No, that's fucking great." And he was like, "Well, it's just a joke." And I'm like, "Nah, but it's true too. It's no big deal."
Yeah, that was cute.
It's like pointing up the double standard. Like, imagine a whole race of people being controlled by one singular magical word.
Right. How weak are you?
Wouldn't you be ashamed of yourself? Like, you can control me just by saying one word? Like, really? Like, people like us to do that will point out the ridiculousness of it. You know what I mean? Not necessarily that we hate yous and stuff like that, but like, and I told Frankie after the show, I'm like, I know, because I told him, I said, listen, you're going to take calls with Leonardo. I know you know me. I know you know somewhat about her. I'm like, don't worry. I'm not going to go over the top on your show. And then I did, but, Nixon, in my defense, after the show, I told him, Frankie, I wasn't expecting to do that. It was just a natural reaction. And I'm not blaming her like, oh no, she made me do it. No, not at all. It was just like me having a conversation with a person and just having a natural reaction. That was all.
Right.
She was, you know what I mean? She was like, oh, will you call me at night and say the N word? You put me to sleep, and I was like, oh, what? That? You know what I mean? She was just like having a conversation. I was not trying to blindside Frankie.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it was just in the moment.
That's all.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think he knows that. You know what I mean? Because we talked after the show. I'm like, man, I know I told you I wouldn't go over the top, but I wasn't trying to blindside you there. That was just like, it was naturally reaction, like I was just having like a normal conversation with somebody, like we were just sitting down at the table. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I think. Yeah. It's just because it's YouTube that's the thing that kind of made him have pause about it.
You know what I mean? But yeah, Frankie's a big boy. He knows. He gets it.
Yeah.
And I understand him getting a little nervous just because of, like, I'm not trying to, like, ruin his show because YouTube is a fag and they'll just look for anything to take money away from people.
Yeah.
It's not because they have principles or they care what you say. They're just looking for a gotcha to take money. That's all it is.
They have to appease the people that let them exist, and that's just part of it. Frank just didn't want to have to get an email about that episode. I get why he was tense for a moment.
No, and I get that too. I've been friends with him a long time, and I would never ever want to put his lifeblood in jeopardy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and there's honestly, there's
never
things.
Do that intentionally.
Yeah. You can honestly say,
about?
Yeah.
But my I call it as a joke, say, "Hey, it's Mixer on your show. Can I say it? Can I say it?"
I'm not that far yet. I'm not that good yet.
No, but here's the thing, though, right? This is the thing. And this is the thing that I don't understand, and people like Leonardo and I don't understand is people are really making a big deal over a word.
Right.
One single word.
You're gonna come across that word a lot, say in Spanish, if somebody wants to tell you the color black, like that's really gonna piss them off. So what are you gonna do? Just be mad at every single country over one word? Like get a hobby, get a job, get a life.
Thank you, baby. You said it perfectly. Thank you for taking my call, Nixter. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. You got a show to do, so I don't want to bogart your time, but thank you for taking my call and letting me speak my piece.
Oh, sure. Thanks for calling in. I'll see you later at a Frank show, maybe.
Yes.
All right. Yep. Thanks. It would have been funny as hell if it did that during the call. Thank you. Thanks, Cake 40 for calling in, and Lisa Gray, thank you. It says the prompt said to say something nice. Something nice. I like that. Thank you. Like what oh goodness, is it what Betty Davis said about Joan Crawford after she passed away? She's like, yeah, I was always told you should speak good about the dead, not bad. Joan Rivers is dead, good. Something like that. Pardon me just a moment. My hands just feel dirty. Let me keep this. Nobody's getting a free show. It is hot as balls. But what's up? I saw Crystal Pistol came in. What's up? And NT691 says first time catching you live on your channel and not Frank's. Love your savage comments as always. Yeah, thank you. Jenna says, is cracker equal to the N word? I kind of wish you could go into Cracker Barrel and it's like right away there's some like old hillbilly person just like moonshine, shotgun, walk in, welcome y'all. Half the staff isn't wearing shoes. That's not my thing, but some people just don't wear shoes. Oh, we owe you. Bill Cooper said, yeah, well put, it was just in the moment. Yeah. And yeah, speech control is thought control. Yeah, when people are, oh, you shouldn't say that word. Well, when it comes to words, this is really not in a Game of Thrones so much as it comes up a lot in A Song of Ice and Fire, but words are wind. Two dogs, glad you made it. Oh, Patrick said you're good enough for us, Nikki. We love you. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, my channel hasn't risen high enough to take a hit like that. We owe you, Bill Cooper. Your laugh is so great, Nikki. Just killing me. Thank you. You guys crack me up. I rarely find stuff. Like every once in a while in a video, like a line will come across and I'll crack up, but I don't know if it's just me. So there's the guest. He has a very white, like light gray background. He's got a neon sign. So I had my hat on because even his shirt, he should burn this shirt. It was a white shirt with like the thinnest red lines going across. It hurt so bad to look at. Why would you do that to people? I'm so mad at him for that. But until I forget what time, but finally somebody comes in, a fella, John Booker. Best comment of the night. Dude says, because the guest wore glasses, thin guy. Striped shirt. Guy says, we found Waldo. I fucking lost it. I was so mad. I had to look up at the screen to make sure it was that funny, and I lost my shit. Three dots. Yeah, that guy sent me to the optometrist. Like, dude, man, the eye strain. I'm like, I don't know what it's like for you guys having regular eyes. I could used to be able to look at a lot of stuff before my eyes got tired, but absolutely the fuck not. Why? Again, people don't watch their own appearances back. That's gotta be what it is. My goodness. And Frank did say that Pyretta's 14. And Matt McCat did find her back when he was doing his animal trapping job. She was just getting, bullied out of, food from these other alley cats over in Larchmont. And so that was Matt McCat found her, and she became Anthony's cat. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the sometime within the last 2 years, there was this thing going around on Tumblr talking about people who, like, if you tell them to think of a red apple, they can't see it in their head. All they can see is maybe like the word apple. Or I don't know what it's not like. I don't have an NPC brain because when you say apple to me, I see a shiny red apple in my head, and then I can change its color. But it's an apple. It's not words. It's not like an apple tree. It's not a Minecraft apple. It's a real life apple. Frank brings up this article about this lady. It might have been a video. It was Tuesday. I can't remember back that far. But this chick is engaged to like half of a set of twins. I don't know if these guys fight crime, but they're twins. But the one other twin that she's not engaged to, that this guy is just off. There's no hope for this man. This dude thinks he's in a relationship with some AI computer and swears up and down it's I don't know, sentient or something like that. So he's just unsavable. And it's no, this lady, she called in. It was even worse. She called in. Oh my god. So the one she's not engaged to, there's just no hope for that man. He's just dating his computer. He's an NPC. He's messed up. But then the other twin brother has some kind of schizo tendencies. Personally, that would make me nervous, and I would say no. I would not have even gotten engaged to that person. But I don't know the full story. But apparently, you have to be an NPC to be dating, wanting to marry a schizo, because it came up. I was in the chat room, like, I don't think this woman can see the apple, referencing that meme. And then so Frank asked her if she can, like, when you say the word apple to her, like, does she, can she see it in her head? Does she just see words? What happens? And basically, no, she cannot see the physical apple in her head. That's NPC brain. So no. So like now I know. I never knew before. It doesn't come up on Law and Order. Who marries people with like full blown schizophrenia? NPCs. Mystery solved. Wow. I was that many years old on Tuesday when I learned that. Two dongs. That's weird as hell to me. Yeah, I don't mess with that. I don't fuck around with computers like that. Nope. Make my fried rice. I know she's a white lady, but just make my fried rice. Wednesday was so long, and I didn't even not even have an appointment that day because I can't get up at 6 because that's too late. Because then you're out with all the fucking buses and all the people and all the tourists. So I've got to get up at 5:30 if I want to do anything at all. If I want to go out. So I get up at 5:30, trying to talk myself out of it. Like, can't I just go to Walmart on Thursday? No, because remember how ghetto Walmart is on a Thursday morning? Nope, get your ass out of bed. So it was going to be a long day. It was a holiday. And the guest was This is the guy who was on before, who just proceeded to talk past 9 p.m. like it was nothing, and we did not get out of there until maybe like 9:30, 9:15. Rude as fuck, whistled when he talked, never got to any point about nothing. Like, seriously sat there and explained to us how a VCR works. Without exception, like there are Zoomers who watch, quite frankly, but for the most part, every single last person watching, quite frankly, has had to deal with the fucking VCR. You don't have to explain one goddamn thing about it, but we sure did hear a fucking earful. Like, that was last time. This time, we got to skip the VCR talk, but. Oh, holy shit! Lisa Gray said, "Oh my god, I'm prepping for fried rice right now." God, I can't remember the last time I had fried rice. I miss it. Sometimes I hate Asian people so much I can't even stand the thought of eating Asian food. And you might think that's racist, but you didn't have to work at my last job. So sometimes after that, I don't want to touch anything Asian ever again. But then it comes back around and I want fried rice again. John Rogers, police blotter the other day. A woman kept calling 911 because Walmart wasn't open 24 hours. What do you mean? They're closed. I need my ranch. Because I used to go back when I was, I wasn't allowed to work for a little while. So that's when my weight got down to 97 pounds, and my glasses from from when I was 175. So your head gets smaller, you really can't see. So the safe time of day for me to be out was at 3 a.m. when there's no traffic. That's the only time you saw skinny people on the ride car. It's all the stoners are out. So this is the guy with his last known photograph from 1980 something. And I'm surprised I actually got to about an hour and 45 minutes in before I started muting this guy. And I'm surprised I got through that long because all we did was rip into this guy with his last known photograph. I'm like, that's not even him. That's just the picture that came with the app. Um, just ripping into this dude because Frank would ask the question, and I don't even know if this man would even answer because he would just start talking about things that my brain registered what he was saying as English words, but at a certain point they stopped becoming sentences because nothing ever made sense. So I'm just hearing random English words in places while I'm talking in the chat room. So like if you cannot come to a point within 2 sentences, I don't have the patience for it. I'm gonna stop caring really hard, really fast. So it was just everything we could do to get through it. And I wish I would have realized. I don't think I had eaten, but I always feel so hungry. I don't even know how much I weigh. I'm just always so damn hungry all the time. I think I'm using it to try to cheer myself up. I'm always so damn hungry. And again, there that show just went on and on and on. And we had fun in the chat room, but it is getting later in the day. I had been up early as fuck. I can really only get through about an hour and a half. Like 3 hours is pushing it, and then I'm exhausted. But then by then it's only 11 a.m. and I still have to do it, get to the show that night. So I was completely done. Moon Buddy said there's a quiz after the show. Oh, and Frank would try to ask a question, dude would talk over him. Frank's trying to interject to try to make any of this nonsense make sense, and dude talks over him. It was so rude. I can't stand that. It's nice when Jay Gulanello's there. The show can run over then because they let each other speak. Like that can go on until 9:20, sure. But if you're not gonna let the host do his job, why are you there? You're disrespecting Frank. You're disrespecting us by running over the time. And worse than that, you're boring. I don't even think that's a real dude. It's a fake picture. We've never seen him. It's just a voice that says words. I think we're just talking to a computer when he's on. And he's coming back. Why? We've had enough from the last two. Now we're going to get a part three, whether we want it or not. Preemptively pissed off about that. I'm already thinking in my head, I better make coffee and drink a Monster and eat beforehand because we will not end until 9:30, no matter what. But there were two good things that happened on Wednesday. Gray uploaded his Grand Theft Auto video. There was no 80s music. And then after all of that, after Frank finally got the dude off of the show, then there he is again with his AI content. So it didn't get better after the call ended. But it was a 2 hour and 30-minute show. Maybe about a half an hour of that was really good. And then the rest of it was just words and words and words. At least he doesn't have movement on his screen, but damn. So we're in the chat room like this dude cannot talking about like this guy corners you in a party, or like 911, what is your emergency? Well, let me tell you what I think happened. Frank's like, give us a quick answer about something, and 15 minutes later, no. Three dots, Mark, the long wind, Key rambles so much to ensure he comes back for episode for the next decade. Yeah, because Frank had questions for the guy from the last show. We got two, maybe three. NT, not Pickle Boy. No, not Pickle Boy. This guy has no pickles. I don't know if they had that brand of pickle back in 1980 when his photo was taken. Dandy, I tuned that guy out. Yeah, I just couldn't. I just really could not. Erica, glad you made it. Yeah, I was talking about Erica, that Mark Key guy from 1980. John, yeah, that guy Mark is still talking. Yeah, it's like Frank hangs up and the guy's like, so okay, then so. And Frank was like, hey, why don't you go from like the 30s up until now and explain something? And we're still stuck on World War II. Like it's still 1943 in his explanation. Maybe that's why he's got to come back. We Bill Cooper says Mark Key is not trustworthy, has not been for decades. IMHO. I don't really know. Nothing he said seeps through to me. I'll take your word for it. So after we got done at 9:30, and I had been up since 5:30, I usually get up at 9. I just wanted to rest my eyes. I don't fall asleep right away. I hate falling asleep because if I fall asleep, that means I got to wake up and put up with more shit and more pain. So I really am forcing myself to try to stay up past midnight, at least every single night, just because it's like I like sleep. I need rest. I'm tired as fuck. But I wake up the next day and it's just more bullshit. I can't get through, a half an hour with wanting to say fuck it. So there I was keeping myself awake. And it was like 10:30, and my phone chimes off. Erica, yeah, Frank is on tonight at 9, so this is going to end at 8:30 in an hour. Yeah, but 10:30 p.m. People don't really upload. Like rarely will people upload, say, after 7 p.m. Every once in a great while I might get like an 8:30, like 9 o'clock hour random upload from a channel, but it's definitely not a regular thing, except for that other show that I go to on Mondays, afterwards. There's not, like, nobody regularly uploads, say, past 9 p.m. You're allowed to. You can upload anytime. I'm just saying people that I follow. So 10:30 p.m. WTF. I'm tired as hell. Frustrated. Erica, Nick's on a rant. Yeah. John Rogers. Yeah, he is going to be live on all platforms. I'm going to be so fucking sad and lonely all night. Look at my phone. And it said Puff was live. So that's Minecraft. At first I thought it was just an upload. I'm like, okay, cool. But then I'm like, wait, because people put like that red dot avatar emoji when they're live. So I actually like tapped on. I'm like, he's live right now? I've never caught him live before. So it's like, I'm so fucking tired. But he's live right now. So I go over there. And he's the one who, anytime somebody donates, he gets a super chat. Cowbell. He's got to ring his cowbell. John Rogers will watch it tomorrow. Cool. So he's live, he's doing his thing, and folks in the chat room were saying that it's his birthday was coming up, like soon, like later that week. So I think, oh, cool, because they don't, I'm just recently into these guys. You don't ever see them, so I don't know. I can't really guess what they look like. Can sort of guess their ages. But this dude's wacky, so he was going live, and I wanted to see that. That was fun to listen to. And everybody, it's a younger chat room. It's not like Quite Frankly, so folks are going, why? It was too fast to watch. It was too late in the day, so I wasn't like in the chat room watching. Like every once in a while, I'd hop in there and say something, but I couldn't, it was not like when I'm at Quite Frankly. It's not like here. I wasn't like, this. So it was just cute to listen to and know. And hey, everybody, put a one in the chat room if you like this kind of music, because he'll play some of the music he plays is honestly some of the music that Grace Still Plays uses. So that's what threw me off at first. Like this must be just some non-copyrighted stock music to play, which is fine. But it's every once in a while I'll hear music that Gray uses, but it's very rare. And then this guy ends up using it a lot more, and he will play classical music sometimes. And honestly, what got me to subscribe to him is sometimes he does sing and he's always in key. So that makes me think, like in real life, maybe he plays an instrument or is a singer. But at one point, they're doing this walkthrough and they look at the moon and he starts low key singing Fly Me to the Moon. I love that song. Like, and he'd already done a game where I'd walk through where he'd been through Purple Flowers. So I'm like, I love that song. I love those flowers. This guy's silly as fuck. I'm gonna give him a follow. But yeah, I guess his birthday was coming up, but they weren't saying exactly when. But that's fine. But I'm like, wow, I wish I could be more awake for this. I wish the show would have ended at 9. So an hour and a half later, maybe I could have been in the chat room. But I guess we'll never know. It's okay. Maybe I fell asleep watching that. Now, what was going on the Thursday show? Because Frank reaches over. Frank usually has random cups. Like he's got blue solo cups, which is odd as hell. Out of all the colors, you can have a solo cup blue and the shade of blue. It's not. I'm getting too much into it. Sometimes he'll have his, big old heavy ass, Quite Frankly mug that you can like smash somebody in the head with. Probably catch a murder charge. The cup like that. And it'll help just, but it's usually the same kind of cup. Sometimes I'll have a styrofoam cup. But this was a like one of those insulated cups with probably with the straw on top. I wasn't even looking at the top because it was bigger around than this, and this is a 500 milliliter, 16.9 ounce bottle. It was bigger around than this, but it was long. It was long. It kept going. It kept going. It kept going. Like the whole shot was the cup. How many ounces is that? Is that a 2 liter? Why did it just keep going on forever and forever and forever? Like it was in Mary Poppins's bag. Like I want more information about that. Like I don't even want to buy it. I just want to know how many ounces. Why is it so comically huge on the camera? We got to see it twice. I didn't write down the times, but I've never seen it before. I would remember something that silly. Bring it back because that's hilarious. It's like the guy, I forget who, but he has it's like a white coffee cup. But again, it just keeps going. It's a foot long, but it's got a regular handle. Where do people buy these things? It's so silly. Erica, yeah, the never ending bottle. Like, dude, I'm thirsty. And you just glug, glug, glug and do that for 2 hours. It was so silly. And see, that's what she said. I know, right? Where's the end of it? Long ass cup. I almost want to DM about him about it. Moon Bunny said, Neil the grass-fed bison. Never heard him called that before. friggin' Monty Python, Naked Gun, cup. What it comment like it's one thing if it's wide, okay, all that's not gonna fit in the shop, but if it's long and it just keeps going, how long is the straw? What company makes that? But Thursday, that's what Frank was telling us that he had this buddy from the pharmacy, and his friend named Joey, and the dude just died. He had pancreatic cancer. Bro's funeral was going to be the next day, which was also his 40th birthday. And I kept forgetting Frank's 40 because he's 69 years old. So it's like, why do you keep bringing up the man's age? And I just realized today that they're the same age. Oops. But yeah, that really sucks. RIP to him. I guess it was just he went to the doctor. Guess he wasn't feeling well. I don't know how pancreatic cancer starts. Maybe it's a stomach ache. And he goes to the doctor. They told him that's what it is. And what 6 months later, within a year, there he is, 6 feet under. So that is rough. That's something a cancer, not a cancer, but a Scorpio would do, like die on their birthday. Like, was he aiming to, like, well, if I'm gonna die, I might as well have my funeral on my birthday. Just I don't know the man. I don't know if he had a sense of humor like that. And like Frank didn't mention if the dude had like pets, married, children, anything like that. But it's still sad either way. It doesn't matter if he had a lot of family around him or not. But it's I mean, it's over for him if he was in pain. That really sucks. But you could tell Frank was not happy about that, nor should he be. He liked the guy, not like that. It is weird as hell, especially my age. People got into heroin, and it's like, oh, what happened to so and so we used to work with? Oh, they died 5 years ago. What? Stuff like that. Too dog shit. I'm supposed to die on my birthday? I could swear it was because John Cleese is a Scorpio, and then like his mom has the same birthday as him, or it's around his birthday, and then she ended up passing away on her birthday. Then you got somebody like Gadget Doc who died the day before his birthday. And I made a joke with him about that way before, like Scorpios die on their birthday, and then he had up passing away the day before. So he would have thought that was funny. Not leaving his family behind, but the rest of it. Now, Frank did talk about the meetup a little bit more. I don't know if this exists, but there should be, say, on quite frankly .tv, a place you can click on for the event, saying, because I imagine he's going to have it set up with, because there was a stage there, like Garcia's. You can look it up. They had like a picture of it. I went to the website and looked. I don't know why. Um, but they do have a stage there, so I imagine Frank might have some people say like get up there, and I think he wants to get the bank robber magician up there to do some magic tricks. So it's like he's going to be putting on a little bit of a show up there. But it should be on the website like, hey, this person's going to be there, that person's going to be there, this kind of food, these kind of drinks. I don't know if they're going to have alcohol because people can get, you get that one person who gets too drunk and then it ruins it for everybody. So I don't know if it's going to be like that. I don't know if it's going to be virgin drinks. But that way we can put like, hey man, just go to the website. If you like those people, then you're going to want to be there. But then on the other hand, he hasn't mentioned tickets being on sale. So if they're not on sale to the general public, why would you put something up on a website for people to see that they can't go to? So I think I just talked myself out of that. But for the people who are going, they would want to know, like, are you going to have people up on the stage who call themselves comedians and are not funny? So who's going to want to listen to that? I don't know. I know we're not going to get like a say set the charge up there and perform. They're like, I'm not working tonight. But he mentioned that they're going to have real food there. Jay Gulanello was there. That's why they were talking about it. But they were going to have bacon. And then Jay said, yeah, Jupiter Gulanello talking about how people expect him to bring weird food. So of course he's gonna have his like liver pate, and I'm not a vampire, so that does not sound tasty to me. Um, but he said bacon, so I heard the most important word of the situation. Tudong said, "I'm going to go." Hell yeah, man! Where are the werewolves going to fight? Is that going to be on the stage? Is that going to be in the parking lot? What? We don't know. At what time? How long is this going on for? Because if I was gonna drive it and do it a straight shot, it's 9 hours both ways. So in my mind, I would be if I had to go by myself, I would be thinking, what's worth me driving an 18-hour round trip? Because I want time to meet Franklies. Like I could kind of give a shit about the air quotes entertainment. The entertainment is meeting the people. And then Jupiter did say something interesting, and all in one sentence. I like when people not in one sentence, but sort of like in one paragraph of information, they contradict themselves. I'm sure I do it too. But he first says how he doesn't trust any kind of governments, any nation's government, does not trust any of them. But either right before that or right after that, he was talking about how he like trusts Trump's decision making. He, you trust a government employee, but you don't entrust governments. Okay, vampire logic. I'm just saying I noticed that. I don't know if you noticed he said that, but I did. And then Frank said something that just made me think that a lot of people sit and watch the news expecting it to be good news one day. It's never going to be. But they sit there and watch every single broadcast every single day like it is going to change. That's the definition of insanity, to do things the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. So if you're waiting for the news to make you feel good about the world, hold your breath. Hold your breath. Because we don't need people that stupid around. There's good around everywhere. There's just nobody reporting on it. There's more good in the world than bad, but that doesn't sell. So we're not going to hear about that on MSM. So if you're depressed and watching the news, that's your fault. Watch some Minecraft videos. Watch some Grace Still Plays. The news is not your friend. The news is basically heroin. It might feel good at first, but it's very quickly going to be zero fun. And then you watch all your friends die from it. I have noticed this. It is kind of scary the way the world is set up for depressed people. I know that because I am depressed. So when I see something that I would like, I kind of hold back. Like this is too much what I want and need. What's wrong with it? You should ask that about anything. If something goes bad, of course you could ask what's bad about it. If everything's good, that can make you complacent. So look out for that too. So I notice when I'm like the more depressed I am, my attention span is shorter. So I can see that's why people like things like TikTok and shorts. Like your attention span is only going to last for so long. So that's why you're only watching videos that are so long, because you can't handle a 2 hour movie or a 30-minute movie, whatever it is. It's just these quick pot, dopamine hits to make you get through your day to the next thing, and then that's all you're chasing are those little hits. Like you will enjoy maybe a movie more than watching these short videos, but your attention span is so short that you're never going to know it. So there you are watching short videos. Moon Bunny, glad you made it. I mentioned a couple things you've said this week. Like fast food, convenient food. When you're depressed and your knee hurts, you really don't want to stand there and cook anything. So you're thinking like, yeah, it would be easier to order pizza or have DoorDash food delivered. I don't use DoorDash or Uber Eats or anything. Or just go into the convenience store and just grab your like Hostess and your Twinkies and your soda and get out the door. That's another thing. I'll be craving sugar, and I know that's bad. All I want to do is eat chocolate and drink soda, and all that's going to do is poison me and make my eyes, like, the more sugar I have, I feel like I can feel it all swelling up and my eyes get tired. I know that's bad for me, but the depression wants sugar. So it's sad that so much is set up for depressed people, but they'll deny they're depressed. They'll call it anything else but what the thing is, and that's why they never get help. I didn't know this. I was watching Puff's videos, and he did one where the mods were like dementia and depression and paranoia and all this other stuff. And as he's playing the game, it really hit too close to home because he's like going through the game. He's like, how do I make myself better? Why do I feel so sad? I don't want to feel this way anymore. And I'm like, this video hits way different when you're going through it. But one of the things that it does make you do is like your character can barely walk. It's so painfully slow even to watch. And then up on the screen it says like lethargy or lethargy. I don't even know how to say the word, but I figured out that's what I have. I just thought it was exhausted as fuck, but I guess that's lethargic, which sounds so very Victorian, like, oh, I'm just too exhausted, fainting couch. That's what it is. I just thought it was exhaustion from depression, but it has a fancy name. Like how I refuse to call tuberculosis tuberculosis. That is consumption. Because nobody told me consumption was tuberculosis. No movie did, and it took years to find that out. This is before the internet is what it is now. Dandy, yeah. Paying a therapist would make me depressed. God damn, that's right. Patrick says to Dandy, happy birthday for next week. So that's what it is, lethargy. And then speaking of therapy, again, this is another Minecraft ARG. This dude went crazy like about the moon in the game, and it's a long video, but it gets to the end and he's recording his therapy session, and listening to the way the therapist talks to this man makes me want to punch her. Like, I would walk out of the room if somebody spoke to me that way, let alone a therapist. It wasn't not anything insulting. It was just stupid as shit because this dude was obsessed with the moon and like mentioned eclipses. And this girl's like, yeah, I can understand how the moon can be interesting. I can understand why you would wonder why an eclipse would happen. What year is it? Because I'm not that great at astronomy, but I'm pretty sure I can say without fear of contradiction that they can predict eclipses. Wonder why an eclipse would happen? Is it 1700? You know what? I decided I'm okay. I don't need therapy. Bye. You're too stupid for me. You can't be dumber than me and help me out, woman. So that's just what I'm thinking listening to this. I'm like, dude, I would have walked out right then. But I guess the kid got help and all this stuff, so it was a happy ending. After like a year, his cousin's like, probably should have told you this a year ago, but you need therapy. And the guy's like, I never thought of that. Erica said, I worked with a doctor who didn't know what consumption meant. Oh, just have him watch Immortal Beloved. Two dogs. Thanks. Only 1 hour left. What happened? Wait. Yeah. Friday. It was after 6. YouTube chimes off. Gray had already uploaded. I knew it wasn't Frank. Who the hell's uploading after 6 p.m.? Again, it was Puff he was going live. It was his birthday stream, so that was his birthday on June 20th. So happy birthday to him. So I had to run over there real quick, happy birthday, Puff. And it's like I had to go to Quite Frankly, so I couldn't hang out over there. But that was cool. I guess it was live for a couple hours, just playing, and he probably got so many super chats, and he rang that cowbell so much. I don't know if I can watch that stream back. But that's cool. He was talking about he was gonna have some chocolate cake later on. So good for him. I'm glad he's got family. He and another guy, these people are young. These people are, they can't be more than 25. So to hear them talk about things that are just commonplace to us, it's kind of cute for them to discover it for the first time. Because at one point, him and another guy are talking about food. And the other guy's like, dude, did you ever have rice? And it's just not that good. And the other guy's kind of like, yeah. I think it was Moose saying this. He's like, well, this is what you do. You get your rice and you rinse it off because that gets all the dust off of it and stuff like that. And then when you cook the rice, you cook it in something like chicken stock, and that makes it taste better. And the way he was describing this, it's like a person describing a piece of land that's never been discovered before. And I forgot about that trick. I'm like, hey, that's right about the rice. I know he's saying a true thing. I know about food. But to hear them discuss it, like, oh man, I can't think of it, but other times they're talking about food. Oh, that's the way my mom makes it. Yeah, Matt McCat would have been at the Friday show, but he was out doing some gay shit, getting his, I guess he's getting like a tattoo touched up, covered up, something, George Washington tattoo, and then something about covering up live free or die. Maybe that's what that new gay ass tattoo, I don't know. It was waste your time and money. If you want to waste your time and money and look uglier, just get fat. I know that from personal experience. Patrick, supposed to take meds for my heart every day, just can't be asked. Left it to God's will. Just take it the first thing in the morning when you take your 500 milligrams of caffeine, like I do. Oh, two dongs, cross match time. Oh, have fun. But yeah, more power to Frank, because I totally forgot about this because it was the day before that he mentioned it, but we get around to showtime. And Frank had mentioned, sort of at the beginning of the show, that he had gone to his buddy's funeral that day, and it was just, I guess the man's father did the eulogy, and it was sad seeing all those people there. And he was starting to get a little bit emotional there, as some folks in the chat room were getting upset. But I wasn't really getting that sad, and I couldn't figure out why, because it is sad that his friend died. It's not that I didn't care. Like, what's wrong with me that I'm not oh, I'm already this sad. Okay, so Frank's just coming down to my level. That's me all of the time. That's just he's just okay. I'm just seeing like that. He looks familiar to me, and then that's sad that he has to be that sad for me to recognize him more. And it's hard to even put that into words. I was much more articulate back when my progressed sun was in Aquarius, and it's been in Pisces. I don't really care for it because I cannot articulate my feelings that well. But I don't want people to be as sad as me, so that part was upsetting. Like, you can be sad, just not this sad, not for this long. So I didn't like the fact that he was as sad as I am all of the time. Really wanted to smoke him out, but he doesn't smoke, and he's too far away to give him a hug. So it just, everybody was sending him like love and thoughts and super chats and all that kind of stuff. Moon Bunny, LOL, that's it. Yeah. Uh, I don't know what time the funeral was, but the dude went and then still went to the show. So that was just after the fact. I'm realizing, like, dude, you saved me, because then I would have had to do my own show, which is fine. It's as long as somebody's going live, but it's just a little bit more stressful. I don't have to worry about how I look when I go to Quite Frankly, but here I do. We check the battery. So far, so good. I wonder if there was a wake afterwards. Did they have food? Was it good? He didn't mention that part. Frank mentioned that Matt McCat is the hide and seek champion. He's like, you think there's no hiding places in your house? Apparently, Matt can just get in. And somebody pointed out in the chat room that the cats are basically liquid; they can fill any space. So, like, he's just trying to explain, like, the odd. You know how there's like the cabinet above the fridge that you never put anything in. Like watch him be hiding up there. One time when I moved out of a house to where I am now, I had to bring my cat with me. And you never met a cat that disliked change. You never met a person that disliked change more than this cat. Like, we moved the furniture around, and he would get pissed off. He would start making these horrible, like, you would think he was dying, just the loud sounds that came out of this tiny cat. And it's just because he was pissed off because things were in a different place. And then we would not see him for a couple of days. So he did not want to move. So the way to get him, or let me back up a bit. He found the best place to hide. There was a basement. So between the floor and the wall of the basement, there was like the slats for the like you got the wood beams. There's like so much space in between. That space in between, here's the wall, and he's hiding up in there. Had to pull him out, put him into a box. It was just basically an old turkey box, so it had the whole like breathing holes, and then had to get an extension cable. Just that's the only thing that was like a rope around, wrap it around that, tie it, just to keep him secure in there. And then he just bitched the whole way. That dude could hide. So it just made me think of that. There's just Matt McCat just like hiding between the floor and the top of the basement wall, just peeking his head out like, nope, bet you won't pull me out. So they put their claws out and you try to pull them forward. And it's like pulling on Velcro. Yeah, there was no guest because Frank did was just he was just playing it loose. Even the name, quite frankly, was spelled wrong in the thumbnail. Fucking AI, totally worthless. And Frank just ended up taking a lot of calls. So it was like somebody would call in, and he asked, like, one lady called in and he asked her a question, and he had put out something about if you could put a time capsule message somewhere for people to pull up in 100 years, what would it be? And folks had called into his speak pipe. They had left just messages or called in, stuff along those lines. One person had a good one. Theirs was just tell people in 100 years that, quite frankly, was the best show, and something about the Franklies being awesome. So that one was good. I liked that one. I forget who said it. Maybe folks super chatted some in. So it was just more of a call-in show, just sort of chill with everybody. There was not a guest. Is the heart pill heart shaped? Is it red? We owe you, Bill Cooper, some good calls last night. Yeah. He played some cool music. He played something from Metallica in Russia in, was that the late 80s or the early 90s? And then that bit he played with Dimebag Darrell, holy shit, because I don't know that much about rock music, but dude goes into this wicked fucking solo. And then it gets to the end of the guitar solo, and then this beat just picks up right after that. It was the wildest, hottest shit I'd seen in a while. I was feeling it like, hot damn, how long can he play this for? Keep it going. That was intense. That was a good time. And that is when Frank mentioned, because it's something about with Rumble, like Frank might have paid to have his show featured on the Rumble homepage, like maybe for an hour on Thursday, probably, because that's when he's on Badlands Media. But then he was talking about, this was all in Discord, this is, public information. Something about he doesn't like the way Rumble's front pages, like maybe it's too bought up by other companies or pages, or so he's not happy with them. And again, I've been not happy with them for a while. So that's when he's like, do I just go live everywhere? So I know I was thinking just going live from Pilled, and that is unacceptable. That fucking tin can sounded 720p nightmare. So that's when he was thinking about putting the show everywhere, and I was just on pins and needles. I didn't want to think about it and jinx it, but it is up. That's what we're going to be going to later tonight, so I don't have to be sad sitting there. I can see everybody. And yeah, you guys going to be off next Friday, but that's fine. That's fine. I don't have to be sad watching the Saturday show, so that's going to be wild. Hopefully it goes on for longer than an hour. He's Jeff is the one who his hair is blacker than Jupiter Gulinello. Well, like you stare into the abyss stares into you. That's the man's hair, and you cannot have your Dick Clark pitch black hair when you're a gentleman of a certain age. It's hilarious how I like the guy. It's funny how he thinks he can pull that off. Like don't go dark brown. This man just went black as midnight. Patrick, yeah, so he's on everywhere tonight. It's fine. YouTube is everywhere, so yeah. That's the way it sounds. So if you watch him on other platforms, R.I.P. to you. I mean, of course not Twitch. Frank did mention like going through your contacts and talking to people that you haven't spoken to in a while. That sort of a thing. So he's on a little bit of a sentimental kick because his guy he went to school like all through so many years with this guy, and then like you grow up and you work somewhere, so you still see the same people, and then you just sort of have your own life, so you don't talk to them anymore. What was that kind of a situation? Because I've been saying for years, you never know the last time you're going to see somebody. Like with my friend, I thought I was going to have the weekend to spend with him, and then I go to work, and then 2 hours later I get a phone call because he had died. So no, that there is not more time. There's right here and right now. You might not have next week. You might not have next year. You don't know if you have tomorrow. I mean, real talk. Anybody can just have an aneurysm and wake up in heaven at any time. Odds are it's probably not going to happen, but I'm not a statistician, so who knows? And I don't know if this is what Frank said or if this is just what the chat room said, that people just don't like rapid change. If too much changes at once, it just fucks people up. Some people are better equipped to handle it than others. Again, like my friend dying, I didn't realize my whole world was just going to come crumbling down one Friday. So too much change too quickly can fuck you up too badly forever. It's kind of like the backstory with the Joker. He has a lot of backstories, but one of them is he just had one bad day. And that's all it took. I mean, like, it is like that. It really is. But I've also said this too. You can't be afraid of death or he'll come for you. So if you're not afraid of death, you're not going to die, but you will have to see everybody else around you die. So it's rough. That's something I would like to. If I knew Frank better, that's something I would say to him. It's, because he's going to be around for another. If he's 69 now and he's going to live to be 100, then I mean, he's a healthy guy, so he needs to get used to going to funerals now, since that's all his life is. You hit a certain age, and it's people who just start dropping off, and then that's a theme from then on. So yeah, he just needs to get a outfit he's comfortable crying in, and just wear that to the funerals. and get used to it and spend as much time with people as you can, because that's how it goes. You take somebody who just wants to sit around and just consume media all day, watch that person live to be 75. But the guy who's always going on, got hikes and backpacking across Europe and helping the elderly and like painting houses for the homeless, that guy's going to drop dead at 29 or get hit by a bus randomly. Something stupid's gonna, like a telephone pole's gonna crush him, or his battery's gonna run out. And yeah, you're right. Can't be death's bitch. John Rogers, death doesn't scare me anymore. Damn straight. No offense to your boy Death, because he is frankly, he's a cool guy. Focus camera. Just let the man do his job. And if you want to live for a long time, work on your cry face so you don't look ugly when you cry. Get used to the smell of flowers. And I don't know if it was that night or the night before, but it seems like Frank has a lot of health problems for somebody who does nothing but eat healthy food. This guy needs to start every once in a while just drinking some soda or eating some Twinkies, or get you a Big Mac. Have a candy bar, have some Skittles, because I don't know, your body just needs to process some chemicals sometime so you don't get stomach aches or headaches or whatever he has. I think the man has more sick days than me, and he's healthier than I am, so I don't know how he manages to wing that. It's too much of a good thing, is what it is. All things in moderation. Patrick, yes, I said I go to funerals about once a month. It is what it is. Yeah, just folks just, I mean, natural causes, accidents, any extras they've gotten in the last 5 years that they don't need. NT, it only takes off the bad years anyway. Yeah, just those shitty years at the end. Yeah. And we all get to see each other again. It just sucks for everybody else left behind. So you just that was sort of my thing going into the chat room, since I lost everything. I didn't care anymore. I was just saying whatever because there's only one chance to say it. I didn't know anybody there, so I didn't care if they liked me or not. But then they liked what I had to say, so then that turned into a thing. So you have to be able to say fuck it about certain things. Not everything. You can still love your family and friends and all that, but there's some stuff you just need to just cut out. You get older and you start cutting out more bullshit, or things happen to you when you realize you just don't need certain extras in your life to function, and it wakes you up more than you ever could have expected to be woken up, and you can never go back, so you just have to deal with the new person that you are after it happens. And I did mention before, because Frank had brought up maybe about a week or two ago, something about if you've reviewed Keto Brains, tag them on Twitter and they will hook you up with the bag of coffee creamer. And I mentioned that I did. Well, I tagged Keto Brains and I put my review up from 2 months ago, but then I ended up, after she responded to it, I deleted that tweet. It's been a week or two, haven't heard anything back. I'll let it go after this, but I don't think I'm going to get any more Keto Brains. I thought I was going to be able to score a free bag because it's too stressful to order, but I guess not. That's okay. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna go to quitefrankly.tv, because next week is going to be the short week. That's when it's just the 27th and the 28th I'll be live. Let me go to Quite Frankly TV first. Maybe I don't know. Let's see if there's an update there. Quite frankly. Volume down. Portrait mode. Uh, yeah, still so it's June 27th, summer Friday, no 7 p.m. show. Yeah, so the 27th and the 28th I'll be live. I really shouldn't look ahead. What if it's bad news? Can't handle it. 9. Oh, yes. I was thinking Frank went live at 8:30 for a second. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta stop! But it messes me up so bad just doing the extra half an hour earlier. But yeah, so next week's just gonna be a 4-day week. Quite frankly, then we'll be here. Hopefully, it won't be so damn hot. I realize there's something. It's gonna be rather warm for at least a week. So if goodness, I think I saw the highest temperature I saw was maybe a 33 Celsius, which in Fahrenheit, that's not fun. That's like 90. That's not good. Like the freezing temperatures in Fahrenheit are the very unpleasant temperatures in Celsius. So you get like your 30s Fahrenheit, cold, things are freezing, it could snow. 30s in Celsius, you're sweating balls. Dandy heat wave all next week. Oh yeah. I just know the temperature today is supposed to be the same temperature on Wednesday when I go to my doctor's appointment. So that just means there's going to be more assholes on the road and the way when I go to pick up my food afterwards. Because I am not going to stand or sit. Like, I'll sit when I eat that, but I'm not going to sit to eat anything else that day. I barely touch my phone, so I don't use my hands, so I'm just lying flat on my back listening to something. Oh, dandy, oof. And I had a yard job client ask me to work all next week? No way. Like, sorry, man, I'll have to work naked, and I think there's laws against that, so I will catch you later. NT, yeah, gonna be warm here in New York next week. First warm week. Ugh. Now, the low 30s, if you're very careful about not having, say, everything plugged in a room, and you keep the window closed and keep it blocked off so like light is not getting in, you can keep it at a reasonable temperature. Of course, I'm not here like vacuuming and you like working out and like that kind of a thing, just chilling out type of weather. Because if you open the window, don't pull air in because you're gonna pull in humidity. Just I always blow the air out. But like the top of it there, I can't stop it. So like they think that's why it got warmer. Just the stuff coming in from the top, and it's just blind. It can only stop it so much. That's okay. I used to work in factories that got up over 100 degrees, so it's just a matter of staying hydrated. I really only fell out twice. I started seeing yellow dots. That's not good. If you're like hot and you start seeing yellow dots, drink water, get out of the heat. You're not going to die, but you are just not going to be feeling quite like yourself for the rest of the day. Some people do fall out from the heat, though. I worked at another place. It was this elderly guy. Is people that old shouldn't be working, but there's the ambulance there, and like there's dude. I'm thinking, oh my god. And somebody's like, oh yeah, that happened before. It's well, just stop putting him in places where he's gonna fall out like that. Damn. Patrick said, "Yeah, Dandy, spend the week celebrating your birthday, mate." It's like, no, I take the week off for my birthday. Actually, I take July off for my birthday. I'm off all summer, so if you get me in the fall, maybe no. Around here, they wait until the weather becomes uncomfortable, and that's when the orange barrels go up, and that's when streets are closed, and suddenly that's when they're filling in potholes. Not before. They wait until right after tourist season starts to do that to people. It's terrible. So yeah, I really just don't know about the meetup. Who's gonna? Is there gonna be singing? Is there gonna be like, don't make people think. Don't sit there and try to play like bar games where you have to like guess answers with the group of people and try to beat the other tables. No, that's no. No, no, no. Don't bring ink and paper into this. Take the Mitch Hedberg approach. I kind of think I would like the Friday thing more because that sounds more like people just standing around talking to each other, and that's really what I want to do. I don't want to sit in one place and look straight forward. That's what I've been doing for 10.5 years. I'd rather go and meet and talk to people, like shake their hand, hug. I'm not a huge selfie taker. I don't have to prove who I met. Um, that's more my thing. Like when I was younger, wanted to travel around to see mountains and castles and things like that, and that is still interesting. Don't get me wrong, but if I was in a place where I could just travel around, I do like quiet and everything, but I've known so many Franklies for over a decade. I would rather just like, hey, could we meet somewhere and have lunch, like hang out for a few hours? I would rather spend that time instead of, say, like walking around a castle grounds. Like, let me take that energy to meet people and talk to them and get to know them and just like have a face to put to the screen name if they want. You don't have to. That's one thing. Pardon again. People will ask Swaley if he's going to do a face reveal, and he's like, I don't know, maybe at 1 million subs. And then I click on that video, and the top comment with maybe 300 likes is like, don't do a face reveal. And I hit like 2. I'm like, don't do a face reveal. Stop it. I don't want to. If you can have a career, they even asked Puff that too. And if it comes up, I tell him no too. Don't do a face reveal. If you can have a career and not have to show your face, do it. I don't care how hot you are. I don't care how ugly you are. I don't care what you think about yourself. Just don't do it. If you can get away with not having to show your face, don't show your face. Take it from somebody who didn't have a choice. Take it from somebody who was nervous about it for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 fucking days. Felt like pure shit. I still feel bad about it. Because anytime you see a face reveal, once somebody was going to do a face reveal and I completely skipped that video. Like, no, I don't want to know what you look like. I don't care. Some people just string it on you. Like there's nothing in the title or their description. There's a face. And now I got to think about a face when I see you. It's not like, anybody's like, oh, I thought they'd be hotter, I thought they'd be uglier. It's nothing like that. I wasn't thinking about your face. I was thinking about the content and your voice and in your brain because it's the things you talk about. I don't. Come on, camera. Like this one dude, I would have sworn it up and down. This dude was like 32 years old, wore glasses, had a beard, was married with 2 daughters. He never mentioned any of that. I just assumed that he was an English guy. Well, he still is. But just from the way he talked, I would have sworn up and down, and that was a picture I had in my head. I don't know why 2 daughters, but it is what it is. Then, bam, there's his face one day. He's probably 21. It's still English, still a white guy. Not one speck of facial hair. 0 glasses. Probably not even married. I was way off about the dude. I think I even said something in the comments, like, imagine my surprise. But don't do that to people. If you can have a career and not show your face, don't do it. Because if you start showing your face, that's all people are going to want to talk about. Then your comments are talking about the looks. It's one thing if you're a guy doing it. It's another thing if you're a girl doing it. No, just skip that part. Be a mystery. I don't know if you know who Dream is. I barely know who that is, but he was like some popular YouTuber, and then he showed his face, and it went downhill for him. So it might have gone downhill for other reasons. Where'd my pen? But like if your avatar and your logo is just like some random picture, and then you start showing your face, what do you do? Do you have to rebrand? Like, does that mean that the merch everybody bought is useless now? It just no. So like that other channel I go to, you never see his face on his channel. The only way you know what this guy looks like is if you follow his Twitter or if you follow his second channel. He does not put his face on his channel. Gray has shown his face on his channel. It's exceedingly rare. What you will see is back in the day he did VR. So like you just get him from here down. You can't see his nose or his eyes. You can't see his eyebrows. You get the top of his head and his mouth and his chin. That's it. Sloan Bone, glad you made it. So if it's not in your routine to show your face, don't make it part of your routine. Because honestly, when younger people it kind of seems desperate. Like, oh, are you single? Are you trying to get a girl off of YouTube? So you're trying to get a gold digger? Which I could get into that, but I don't know too much about the subject I want to talk about, so I won't say anything. Dandy, mine is a Halloween mask. There you go. There you go. If I had a voice like Frank Zell or some nice girl sounding voice, and I had editing skills, nobody would see what I looked like. So I would have to show up to the get together with the purple top hat so people know who I am. And even then, it's not going to be a lot of folks. I'm not expecting to walk into the room and everybody to know. Like, no, I'm a very niche YouTube chat room person. I don't get mentioned quite frankly a lot. So people who know about me, you're in a very elite group. We just don't have a name for ourselves yet. But yeah, we'll be ending this here in a few minutes. Frank is going live on YouTube at 9 p.m. So that's in 33 minutes for his Saturday show. Apparently his dad and his dad's buddy, who's worked on the radio for like 40 years, something like that, 35, 40 years. So he knows his music. He's going to be there too. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to be in the studio. I can't guarantee that. But yeah, it's here on YouTube, so we don't have to do any fancy jumping around. Just hop over there in a half an hour and kick it. It must be so nice having your birthday in the summertime when it's nice out. Like you could have like a picnic on your birthday versus if you're born in the winter. Dandy, I love Frank's dad. I love Frank's dad so much. That man is so damn entertaining. Like that's one of the best examples of a Capricorn I can give. Like this dude can do it all, and he's an actor in real life. He is so entertaining. Dude's funny as hell. He's dramatic. He just so still when he's listening, and just like when he was explaining, like the women, like what is this shit? This isn't fuchsia, this is maroon. Like that whole thing killed me, absolutely slayed me. I wish I could be funny like that. That dude is amazing. I see where Frank gets it from. And then you can tell his mom's got a sense of humor too. She's not up there cracking jokes, but you know she gets it. You have to like comedy in a family like that. William Cooper, it was great to catch your show, Nikki. Enjoy extra frankincense. Take care out there. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you guys for showing up. Smash the like button on the way out. It helps out the channel. Maybe we'll get out of this plateau here. And yeah, we're going to be doing the same thing on Friday and Saturday next week. Possibly cooler out, maybe not, but we'll find out when we get there. We'll have some fun. So yeah, stay cool. NT, what are you talking about? You are funny and your comments are the best. Thank you. Oh, dude, it's just so entertaining. Like, I've got to hold my sides when Frank's dad gets going. Damn, he could have a show. I followed him on Facebook. I haven't looked at any of his posts, but I followed him on Facebook. I want to know what this guy does. So yeah, it was great to see everybody. Stay hydrated, stay cool, get something to eat. Go to quite frankly in a half an hour. Take That's the notification for the show in a half an hour. Take your pants with you. Where we'll be smoking out on the balcony. Stay based. Get your CCW. Never point your weapon at anybody unless you're intending to fire it. Safety first. Love you guys. Everything is just so sticky. And thank you guys for giving me a platform where I can see you folks at. Just in case I can't get to that meetup, I can still see you guys that Friday and Saturday. Patrick, great show. Nikki, catch you at Frank's. John Rogers, have a great night, everyone. Want to go to You're My BFF, best funny friend. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Aw. Yeah, good night. See you in a little bit. Love you guys. Can't reach the end button. I can't end my show. It's so weird to be not wearing a hat. And RIP to James Horner. 10 years tomorrow. That might be rough. I'll see what it's like when I get there. But I've got you guys to get me through, so thanks. I love you guys. And we still have his music. Until next time.